What's up, guys? This is Shine Guys TV. We are going to paint this, but I want to show you guys the process that I'm going to do to get it ready for it.
So what happened?
So we got this Mercedes. There was like a big gash right here. So it was like bare metal. So I just smoothed it out a little bit, feather it out, and as you can see, there's like another scratch right there, but it's not too deep, so we didn't have to do no Bondo. Just put some of this sput putty on it, so it's like for little small minor cuts like that. So now I just gotta wet sand it and get it ready for the paint to go on it.
And when you have a blemish like this, it's on these grooves and things like that here. Are you gonna paint just this area, or do you have to paint the like everything under the lights?
So you don't want to go above, right? Because then like if you don't match the paint correct or whatever, you can always get away with it. So I'm gonna try to keep it underneath this body line downwards, right? So you create that effect and it'll blend into the rest of the car. You know, if I do it too close, that means I have to paint this.
Because it'll have a hard line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just want to keep that paint down here and have this paint already match to this. So it's a blend. So let's get to it. All right, so for this, it's soft. It's not like Bondo, so it's not as hard. So I'm just gonna do a wet 800 first. If I see I need to go a little bit lower grit, then I'll do that. But use your block.
Is that soap and water?
Just soap and water, yeah. It helps it like just glide better. So what I don't want to do is take off. I want all this to stay in that line, in that crack. So not everything else can just go away. Like I said, let the sandpaper do the work for you. You're just guiding it. You don't. If you press too much, then I'll be taking away all that spot putty that I already put inside of it. So I don't want that. That's just extra work that I don't want. And again, the look away technique after you think it's done. And dude, that is smooth. So clean, polished. I've seen a lot of people, they'll sand, they'll grab another grit of sandpaper and they'll sand right on top of that. So you're like really not helping yourself out. You're just creating more scratches. So clean it every time, after every step. I even do it if I'm doing the same grit. You know, if I'm doing dry sanding, you know, blow it off and I still wipe it with a dry towel. If I'm doing wet, clean it. For sure, clean it is wet. But that is smooth. Now for the rest of it, I'm just gonna do the same thing, just 800 grit.
So with the rest of it that's not damaged, you're just trying to get rid of the clear.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna scuff out to clear a little bit so new clear goes on top of it. If you have a silver car, you don't want to do 800 grit. You want to do more of like 15, 2000 grit, because then it'll leave, like it leaves little scratches in there, and silver will show all the imperfections. So another little trick I do is I put this little scuff pad in there, so it's like not just my fingers on it, so all these little curves. But same thing, just glide it. Don't really push on it. Also, if you clean it, you can see like your progress. And those edges, you always gotta get those edges, because when you put your clear on there, that's where that clear is gonna grab onto the most. And if those are scuffed out, your clear won't hold. It won't stick around like my dad. Happy Father's Day, guys. Also, if you are not comfortable or like you don't trust yourself with the sandpaper, you don't want to scratch these, mask it off. Put some paper or tape on here.
Around the lights?
Around the lights, around everything that you don't want to scuff out. If you scratch that, screw, you gotta paint that now too. Alright, I'm gonna show you two ways that you can do a soft edge, right? This is the old school way. You just fold it. Right? So whatever goes in there doesn't do a hard line, no. So it'll be softer, it'll be easier for you to sand out. Then the new school way, you just fold it halfway through. There it is. And I personally like this one better because it has more flap to it. And when all the air pressure is on there, it has more flap into it. And it'll stick to it. You don't have to do this. And it looks cleaner. So now I'm just gonna put paper here, spray it. But this is my work area right here. We don't want to mess with the rest of this. So let me go get some paper. Alright, there you go. That's where my work area is. Alright, so I ended up doing like three coats and a really dry one at the end. It's because I missed a spot. But now we just let it dry, completely dry. We can take this tape off now. Let it completely dry, and then we're just gonna sand it. And I'll show you what kind of sandpapers we have to use for that. Alright, so it's all dry. We use 320 grit first. Just a little pad of all the little curves. Let the sandpaper glide on there. Get it a little wet if you want to. See right here? It's still pretty smooth, but I got too close to that line. Right, so it created a little bit of a hard line.
Instead of like this, where it's soft?
Yeah, compared to this side. See how it's kind of smoky? That thing's smooth. Smooth as eggs. So that's gonna like come out super easy. Look at that, few passes. That's good. But since on this, I created a bit of a hard line, I'm gonna have to work it a little bit more. But I could have been done. I just got too close to the, like I overlapped the tape. That's the thing, the tape, I should have just done it a little bit further out. Just give myself a little bit more room. See, that's good now. The only thing that I had to, you know, like sand it off a little bit more, but if it was like this, I could have been done already. So with my 320, you don't want to finish the job with 320, right? So there's still a little bit of high spots that I can feel. But I'm gonna go down with a 600 and then an 8. That's where we can put our paint right on top of that. I'm gonna do a quick 800 just to smooth out whatever little scratches we got there. And then we're ready to start masking it off, and then we paint it. Remember, long strokes, you don't want to do these. Alright, so if you want to see the finished product before you shoot your clear, just grab some wax and grease and lay it right on top. Look at it at different angles. And that is smooth as eggs, man. This thing's gonna look good this way. I still gotta mask it, so once I mask it, I will re-clean it again with some more wax and grease. No, so we just taped it off, masked it off. We throw the bag over it. So all we gotta do is cut around it, tape it, clean it again, wax and grease, tack it, and then we're gonna spray the paint. We're ready for paint.
So when you cut it, you're just cutting onto the tape because we have double layer
On the
tape.
tape,
On
yeah,
there,
yeah. Yeah, you just gotta be careful. I always put double tape on the spot that I know I'm gonna be using the blade on it. All right, guys, so it's waxed, it's tacked, it's clean. I'm gonna throw some of this adhesive promoter. Spray this. It's just gonna help for the paint and the clear just to stick on there even better, because we want this to be done quick and dry quick so we can get this out of here, get the next one in. So that's it. You don't want to put in like too much of it, because then it'll make those little bubbles. So just a quick little mist, and that's all you need. So I'm gonna do a quick little, just gonna spray this base on it. And again, you just want to mist it first. We're gonna try to cover that primer area. So just mist it and do 2 to 3 coats, cover it good. And then we're gonna try to do a little blend. That's it, let that dry. Let it flash dry a little bit, and then we'll throw another coat on it. Second coat. All right, so I cover my primer. Now let me show you what I mean about blending. So what you want to do is kind of create a mist, and I do like a circle, like a half moon going downwards, right? Pull the eye, that's all. Go further out here. And I'm also stepping back a little bit so that mist, all that overspray almost gets in there. There it is, it's done. I'm surprised how good that actually turns out. All right, so we're good on the paint there. Just gonna let it dry a little bit. Again, we'll tack it, clean it, and just clear it. So all there's left for this is clear, but that's for another video. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and keep on painting. Thank you.